I don't know if anyone else noticed it in this chapter, but didn't you not see the improvement of art quality in Attack on Titan chapter 54? It felt so much better than the other previous chapters we have seen. I mean, it felt like the entire inking and quality of the line work and all that looked a lot better than previous chapters. Now, of course, it's not up to major quality like some manga, but it felt a lot better. We all can probably see that if you've gotten used to the entire art style. It felt very crisp compared to what we have normally seen. So I think that was an honorable mention I need to say. Hopefully Isayama can actually keep up the art style of these chapters and make it a lot better. Now, one thing though, I will say, this chapter had a lot of major focus to what the next arc is going to be about. Most likely, a rebellion arc. That freaking drop at the end of this chapter. We have Reeves' company, and we got the Survey Corps going into a rebellion against the entire government. Along with, you get to see Erwin and Pixis actually talking with each other in a private room about to probably overthrow the government also. So this chapter had a lot of underlying boiling of the next arc. We're going to be pretty much overtaking the entire wall and overthrowing the government. What kind of mysteries are we going to find out? Now let's get into the actual beef of this chapter. For one, I will say the entire, I guess, memory of Historia was very intriguing. I actually got a lot of information out of that. I don't know if a lot of you did. For one instance, okay, the same girl that we see Historia talking to was pretty much the same woman we saw that Eren was actually seeing in his dreams, in his vision. We saw him looking through her eyes into the mirror. So it's like, holy crap, why does this woman look the same? And then we find out this girl can actually erase memories. So it goes to play into some theories about, you know, Eren's father. You know how he gave them an injection to erase their memories and supposedly give them their Titan powers? Most likely, he was involved with this girl that was erasing memories to be able to influence and make their memories manipulated. So, I'm curious exactly what kind of role this girl has. At first, a lot of people were pulling out theories, and I was even believing it too, that Eren most likely is either a descendant of that girl, or her code name so far is Geographia. That's what a lot of people are calling her, but I don't think that's her name. But I will say, though, it's really interesting how the theories are starting to change now, especially with how it was revealed this chapter. I mean, the entire part of manipulating memories is really cool. So, who is this woman? What type of connection does she have with Eren, Historia, and probably also sorts of other different Titans? I mean, and when we got that one book that Historia was reading, that was not a major detail of this chapter. They didn't really mention it a lot. But if you look at the book, you see an actual human giving a Titan an apple. Giving a Titan an apple. Now, that reminds me kind of a, you know, a Snow White in a sense, but at the same time, I feel like there's some underlying meaning in that entire picture we saw in the book. I know that for a fact, and I felt like the entire, like, Titan in the book reminded me of Ymir, actually. Did anyone else not see that? It looked like a lot like Ymir. And speaking of Titans that look like certain people, like the King. Okay, the King was finally revealed this chapter. Now, I will say, the King looks a lot more depressing, gloomy, and starving than I thought he was going to look like. I thought he was going to be like a big guy that just big boned and all sorts of stuff like that. I didn't think he was going to look like that. So, I will say, he kind of resembles the 8 Titan in my opinion, but I know for a fact I don't believe that theory at all. I highly doubt the 8 Titan is the King. Let me go into the logical reason. I mean, I could be wrong. All theories can be proven wrong. But the reason why I say this is because the 8 Titan, if we remember, he wanted to know what 3-dimensional maneuver gear. You remember that? In the chapter, we get to see how the Titan didn't even know, so he was taking it back to his base to be able to research it. So, I highly doubt the King doesn't know about that. I mean, it's obvious he knows exactly what a 3-dimensional maneuver gear is. So, I pretty much think that the 8 Titan is not the King. So, let's get into the point. The only way I can see logically that the 8 Titan is the King is unless this girl that's erasing memories is also messing with the King. What if we find out in the end that this girl that's messing with memories might be actually the major villain in the long run? I mean, it seems like this girl didn't want Historia to actually turn up and start acting like her, because that's actually the type of feelings I was getting from this chapter. And so, I felt like the entire chapter mainly focused on that. It felt like it was a really good interaction chapter between Eren and Historia, getting to see how their characters flow, and getting to see how Eren is a terrible person that making someone feel better when they feel like they're trash to the world. So, Eren, good job that. You don't get no brownie points or nothing because you truly made Historia probably feel worse. Now, let's get on to the creepy facts about this chapter. For one, Armin. The Armin Yaoi panel. That was what? What? That dude, okay, Isayama, you improve your art quality for the first time probably in your manga series. And then all of a sudden you use your improvement of art quality to make a Yaoi Fujoshi scene with a dude that looks like he's slobbering all over himself for Armin. What the Oh, okay, I'm not raging at that, but that was so downright fucking creepy. I was like, what the hell is this doing in Attack on Titan? I mean, I know there's probably going to be some underlying references to that scene. I feel like there's more importance to that entire scene than it lets on. Most of us are probably going to take that as a yaoi scene. But I think there's something else to it. I think there's something else that's going to lead up later on, because I highly doubt Isayama put something like this in his manga chapter without having some major meaning to it later on. So we'll have to see there. I felt like Mikasa's actual freaking, oh man, the way she hit that guy, I swear to you right now, when that guy got hit, I bet he didn't feel it. And if he felt it, I bet he felt like every freaking bone in his body was just shattered. That was the hardest freaking hit I have seen in this series by a human freaking being. I mean, that looked like it looked like at the power level of Goku would do in Dragon Ball Z. I mean, that was just a hard freaking hit. And so I'll give props to that. Isayama did some great artwork on that entire scene. That looked really freaking awesome. That was just a scary freaking scene. Now, I felt like the entire development with the Reeves company, with, you know, the big dude that pretty much didn't give a crap about Tross back in, you know, Battle for Tross when the Titans invaded. He was going to save himself and let everybody else die. I felt like his personality was completely different than what we actually saw him in the past. It felt like his personality did a 180. I mean, it was completely different from what we normally see. He seemed to agree to Levy's actual, I guess, plan way too quickly. It felt like it was a little bit rushed right there, but I thought that was fine. I mean, there's so much that happened in this chapter. I felt like it was a good chapter, and I cannot wait for the next part. I mean, we're finally getting settled into the next arc. I'm guessing going to be the rebellion arc for the government. So, hopefully, you know, we get to see more improvements of the art quality. Everybody, this is going to be the end of my manga chapter review of Shingeki no Kyojin this week, or this month, actually. Hopefully, you all have a wonderful day or not, wherever you live. Please stay safe. Chibi out.